Has definitely gotten into the head of former President Donald Trump. Trump has been trying to come up with a nickname for his potential presidential rival, but it won't be Meatball Ron. Trump said yesterday it would be inappropriate to use that nickname. Imagine Trump talking about what's appropriate, but it almost feels as if Trump is struggling to steal the spotlight back from DeSantis in recent months. What's your take on this?
Well, I can't imagine Donald Trump wanting to use a nickname like that, given the fact that this is the same person who has a penchant for eating, Whoppers and Big Macs all the time. So that would probably boomerang back on him. That just tells you how desperate Donald is to try to even get attention this way. I mean, think about it. We're talking about the highest office in the land here. And the conversation on the Republican side is who can come up with the best nickname for something like that. I mean, if they really get that desperate, I guess they can tune in Monday night to WWE Monday Night Raw if they need some really good nickname ideas, because this is about the dumbest conversation you could possibly have when it comes to politics, the presidency. But we should expect nothing less from a Republican nomination, the Republican contest. It's a race to the bottom. And if it really comes down to who has the best or worst nickname, I don't think that's going to bode too well for Republicans in 2024, Rev.
Tomorrow, President Biden will be heading to Poland as he prepares to mark the one-year anniversary of Russia invading Ukraine. The U.S. has formally determined that Russia is guilty of crimes against humanity. A recent poll shows that support for sending weapons to Ukraine is waning in the U.S., down from 60% in May to 48% today. Joe, what challenge will Biden have on the world stage and here at home to motivate people to continue his efforts in Ukraine's fight against Russia?
Hey, Rev, it needs to be said right at the outset that the president has done a masterful job up to this point of rallying the world and rallying this country in defense of Ukraine. This makes sense, right? Americans rightly don't like prolonged wars. This is going to be a challenge to the president to continue to make this case why this is so doggone important to keep defending Ukraine, especially now in the face of what could be just an awesome and terrible Russian onslaught. Ukraine needs help more now than they did even 7 or 8 months ago. President Biden, who's done really well up to this point, Rev, he's got to kick it into overdrive and make the case to the American people as to why this is so important to keep continuing.
Now, Kurt, the United States is concerned that China could soon provide Russia with lethal aid in its war against Ukraine. Earlier today, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken stressed to NBC News how important it is to maintain a good relationship with China. Now, this comes as frustrations remain 15 days after the U.S. military shot down a Chinese spy balloon that flew over the country. How well is the Biden administration handling these mounting tensions with China?
Well, I think that they're doing a very good job, Rev, and that they're making very clear the unequivocal position of the United States and have taken appropriate action like shooting down that Chinese spy balloon. I can't think of anything more harmful to the global world order than if China decides to try to supply Russia with dangerous weapons that'll be used against the people of Ukraine. And if you want to talk about something that would immediately mobilize the American people behind this war to increase support, to increase the call for supporting with weapons and financial resources, China getting involved that way would do that. You would see those poll numbers that you just referenced that the former congressman was talking about. You would see those numbers skyrocket in favor of supporting Ukraine if China decides to get involved that way.